Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Place in the Middle podcast. My name is Amy.
And I'm Butter. And today we're just gonna do a quarter checkup, look back, look forward thing.
So the idea behind this is, well, in the beginning of the year, I remember like writing down my goals, saying like, I want instead of doing one big clean a year, I want to do like a quarterly big clean.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's better for me and the way that my brain works.
Yep.
Talking about mental health and ADHD and everything last
Yep.
past week. It just made me realize like it helped me so much more instead of being so overwhelmed to do it
One time.
one time in a year. So that's the idea of this episode. It's kind of like we kind of want to talk about the past 3 months of this year. Isn't it crazy? March is ending.
Yeah. I'm like,
The last thing,
where did it go?
I still remember our first episode of this
Uh-huh.
year where we were complaining
Yeah.
about like we're dying already.
But January was really long.
I feel like for me, March is the longest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
January would not end for me. And I was like, please, we got to get moving. There's still so many months left in this year.
That was so funny. All right, so
Mm.
let's talk about the best things of the first quarter.
Yep.
So the
Some
first 3
highlights.
months. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
My brother had his second son, so second
Right.
nephew. So it's been very interesting because like he has such different personalities than my older nephew.
Uh-huh.
And it's so funny because like when my older nephew was when he was a baby, he was not very expressive.
Oh,
Like, he was quite
interesting.
like straight faced. I mean, compared to now, because you've seen
Yeah.
him, right?
Yeah.
And he's like he's not crazy, but he's talkative.
He has a lot more personality now.
He's so funny, but then like this baby, he is so funny because like he would give you like the mad face. He hate going on car seats. So we would drive somewhere and we come back, because like they have to be rear facing, right?
Yep.
So you can see them through the mirror,
Uh-huh.
but it's not that well. You can see them what's going on. And my brother told me that he was like, he opened the door, like when he parked, he opened the door and he was so mad. He had his hand in a fist
Oh
and
my.
he was like, and he's 1 month old, guys. It was
Yeah.
so funny. I think that's like one of the highlights of like our whole family,
Uh-huh.
of like having another member.
That's so fun. I think that's just like the joy in like life when you get
True.
a little bit older and then
Yeah.
you appreciate like your like niece and nephew now,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. I think a highlight for me this quarter, I published a book. It's finally finished, the second one,
Yes.
in like 6 months, and I feel like relieved. Like,
Yeah.
thank goodness it's like finished. Like we're done with another chapter
Mm-hmm.
that I had like set out my goals for like 2 years ago. But then this one was an unexpected book because I thought I was only going to publish one. But then out of that first one, I realized what was missing, like another component that I could like address in another book.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other book came out really quickly.
Nice.
And so I think I'm just grateful, tired,
Yeah.
like glad that that happened. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I feel like there is not a lot of highlights. It's just I'm glad I'm still alive.
Yeah. I think like we made it through, kind of deal.
Right. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even I'm just glad like there was not like super low and not like super high.
Right. Right.
I mean, I would be happy if it's like super high, but like
Uh-huh.
I'm just grateful that I'm still here
Right.
because it has been a little bit difficult some moments in the last couple of months. Working through some stuff, but like I'm still here.
Right.
And I think like that's worth celebrating as well. Like that
Uh-huh.
was some months were really hard. I'm not gonna lie. Some moments I was like, what is happening? But then I'm
Yeah.
still here. And so,
Yeah. I was just thinking of like the best of like the past 3 months,
yep.
just like random things. One of my best purchase.
Okay. Okay.
Let's talk about shopping.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I actually saved up because okay, so you know how I work as a teacher,
Mhm.
and I also on a kind of like a freelance
Mhm.
job, I translate.
Yes.
And you get to that one point, so I have a MacBook, and you get to one point where you can like access like translation like programs and all that kind of stuff
Mhm.
with Mac,
Mm.
but then there's kind of like a ceiling
Yeah.
where PC have a lot more access.
Okay.
So that's where the whole PC came out. I don't know if I told you about this.
No, I don't think I've heard of this.
I walked into a computer shop one day.
Oh, really?
I bought a whole PC. Like,
Really?
I've been saving up from like what I got from my translation
Yeah.
job, and I invested like, and the thing is, okay, so I don't know if you
love
guys
those
know.
kind of purchases.
It's true, and
Uh-huh.
it's expensive too. It's like one. I think that like looking back, out of all my paychecks that I had through the years, I think this is like one big purchase. One of like I think it's the biggest purchase that I made with my own money.
Mm.
I was listening to a podcast with Millie Bobby Brown,
Oh yeah.
and she said like I think what the interviewer asked her that what was like something that you splurge on with like your big paycheck,
Uh-huh.
you know? And I was thinking about the same for me. I
Yeah.
was like, that was like my PC.
That's really like I love when you work so hard, like saving up,
Yeah.
and then get to go in and like spend it.
That money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and the thing is, it didn't even break my bank because I've been saving up for so
much.
long.
Yeah.
It's just like it dented my like bank account a
Right.
little bit, but I'm like, it's fine because like in the longer run, I feel like with my PC, I could work so much faster.
Mm-hmm. And make more money from
It's
that.
true.
Like it's a resource.
Yeah, and I think it like kind of opened like other routes of translation for me as well. Because like, okay, you know how translation work? It can be general,
Yeah.
but I kind of like master in like for some reason like legal stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, it happened. and
I'm
now
not gonna
you're,
lie, like
a legal-
like the next thing I knew, I was like, I'm getting just like translating like lawsuits and summons and
Mm.
those kind of stuff.
Mm.
But another thing that I want to get into is gaming, because like I grew up with two brothers,
Yeah.
so all my life I love playing games. Like, you know, I'm obsessed with like The Sims. Right
Yeah.
now I'm playing Coral Island.
Okay.
It's kind of like, do you know what Harvest Moon is?
I've heard of it. I don't play games.
Farming and those kind
Oh
of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Very
Okay.
like low key, very like
I
chill.
think my
very
sister
like
plays these kind of games.
okay. So that's one of the other reason why I bought a PC. So I
Oh,
can
really?
play games. Yeah. I literally got like a I don't remember this, like I don't remember anymore. But yeah, so I think that's one of the things that I really been enjoying. It has been bringing me a lot of joys and like just de-stressing
Yeah.
after a long day of just like playing. They call it cozy games,
Yes.
where like, you know, it's
chill. Like,
exactly, I'm not stressed out. Like,
Mhm.
so I've been loving that, and that's another route of translation that I can take into.
You're right.
Because like, you know, when people develop new games, they also need translations
Mm.
and like a test gameplay.
Yeah.
So I think I want to get into that. I haven't done one because I think one of the person asked me when one of the game came out, but I didn't have a PC at that point.
Oh,
Like,
so
I
you
kind of
didn't
knew where
Uh-huh.
I'm like, ooh, I should probably get
get one.
The best thing ever.
Is it like a PC, like a desktop, or like a
Yes.
laptop?
So is a desktop. So I got a whole PC, but I already have a screen
Okay.
because I was like my old boss left the country
Oh,
and
okay.
he gifted me the screen.
Oh, nice.
So I've been plugging in with my Mac, but then it got to a certain point where I'm like, okay, you know what? It needs to be its own thing.
yeah.
So that's what happened. So I already had the
Nice.
screen. I only need to buy the PC. The
Oh,
rest I have.
nice.
Yeah.
That's fun. Oh, I love those kind of purchases. Like
I
you
know.
save up a lot.
So
and then you go in.
satisfying.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
you walk into a store and like, I want this one.
Yeah. And like you have the capacity to do it.
Uh-huh.
The best.
That is the best. Mine recent purchase. Okay, I will say I really am so glad I got the book set for A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Mm,
I think that was one
Right.
of the best purchases because I actually like enjoyed the series. It was so nice to escape, like an escape for me
yeah.
from reality and like
Yeah.
to just relax and read. And it was so good. Like the books were so good that I was like, this is really good purchase. Like I'm really happy with that I got it. Usually some books I buy it and then I read it and I'm like, I'm not really
right.
into it,
right.
you know?
Right. Yeah.
But this one I was like, oh yes, like I'm so glad I got this.
Right.
So probably books. But there's another one that I thought of when you were talking. It was that not best purchases, but I've been enjoying going to movies. And it's like not even about the movies really sometimes.
Please tell everybody how many times you saw Wicked in theater
Okay.
by herself. Wait, tell us the whole thing.
Well, first time I saw it with someone because I was like, let's just go get the experience. It's 3 hour long experience basically with commercials and things like that. But then I was like, man, I couldn't get all the details of it because it was 3 hours long. I had to go to the bathroom and then come back. And I just feel like I'm missing some details. So I went to watch again by myself. And then I was like, wow, that was so good. Went to watch it again by myself. So 3 times. And then somebody else wanted to watch it. And I'm like advertising because I'm like, this is so good. You should
Right,
watch it.
right.
But they're like, who do I go watch it? I'm like, I'll go with you. So like 4th time. I think I saw it like 4 or 5 times
In theater?
in theater, at different points. Good thing the theaters here in Thailand, they're not expensive.
That's true. Yeah.
And so it's not like I like spent like in America would, but like maybe $5, maybe $4 or something, depending
Yeah.
on the day.
Yeah.
And there's like different deals. And so for some reason lately, I've just been going to the movies and watching different movies. And there's some of them where you just don't think they're sentimental, but they just have some sentimental parts where I'm like, wow, I'm connecting with this. I need to hear
Right.
it again.
Right.
So then I go sit in to watch it again. And so sometimes it's because of the movies and sometimes it's because of the just the experience. Like this was a tough week or like it like stressful, like I wanted to escape and go do something else and sit somewhere else outside of my house.
Right.
So I go to the movie theater.
Right.
And I just feel like the experience is just so lovely.
You know, you should get a season pass. Like, there should be one.
There should
With
be
the
one.
aquarium as well. Remember how we talked about this? Where,
Yes.
like, when we love something, we just, like, obsess over
I'm
it.
fixated on it.
Right. I get it.
And so this is the point where I'm fixated on movie theaters
Uh-huh.
and just like I don't really care if I have to see the same movie again. Sometimes I pick up on something new in the movie,
Yeah.
but it's just like I'm fixated on going to the movie theater,
Right.
and it's like an escape for me
Yeah.
sometimes when it's like a hard week or whatever. And yeah,
I love that. That's great.
yes, I'm like I need an outlet, and this is pretty good.
Yeah, and I feel like it's very good to know yourself how you de-stress.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so important because, like, if you don't know how to de-stress, you literally cannot keep going.
Right.
Like, you'll be stuck in a loop where, like, you're gonna be constantly stressed,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not how it works. Like,
No.
I can't do that.
Like I have to couple it, like do something fun that you like, go eat something that you like, and also go exercise. So I'm
Mhm.
like all about, like I now work out 6 days a week and I run, but I don't run a long time.
Dang.
So I'm not a runner. I hate running actually.
Me too.
But the thing is, something about at one point in the beginning is I'm so sluggish, but after a little bit, like 10 minutes after I get on it, you feel a little bit better
Mhm.
about like I'm just such an anxious person and I'm buzzing and like I'm just in my head. Running makes it like stop because I can't breathe. Like you're breathing so hard, you just focus on breathing, just
Yeah.
getting through this minute
Right.
because you're running. And afterwards I feel so much better about myself.
It's true. Like, after a workout,
Uh-huh.
it feels like death, but, like, it feels so good.
Right. And
It's
just
so
ra-
interesting.
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's so so weird to me, I guess. Not random, but like weird. Like I don't want to do it, but I need to do it for my mental health, for my body. And I'm tired and it feels like death. And it feels good at the same time. Like my
Yeah.
body really needed to. And if I'm very emotional or like very like stuck inside, I run faster.
Right.
So like, but I don't like I'm sprinting.
Right.
But I don't sprint for 30 minutes. But like I take like times off, like run 2 minutes, walk 2 minutes, like kind of
Right.
intervals,
And-
kind of
yeah.
stuff like that. But I would sprint harder if I'm like
Anxious.
anxious and like I feel like overwhelmed with my
Right.
emotions. I run faster and it helps. Cause you're just now really just focused on breathing, just getting through like these 2 minutes kind of thing.
Right.
I think it helps. I think everybody, like you said, just has to find their own rhythm of like what works for you. Like after
Yeah.
a hard day, everybody's gonna have a hard day at some point. Things are gonna be overwhelming. And instead of like, I think I used to like not punish my body, but would use like food as a way to de-stress. And though I feel like it's not a bad thing per se, overdoing it could be
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
And I don't like I don't know how to do self-control with like food sometimes. Like it's like a to me,
I get it.
you know, like
Yeah.
it's really hard. Like if I'm
And-
overwhelmed.
It's so funny because, like, I was talking to my, like, I have, like, a personal, like, diet, like,
Yeah.
what is it called?
Nutritionist?
Nutritionist. And I was talking to her, like, right before my period. I just got my period like 2 weeks ago or
Mhm.
a week ago. And she was like, yeah, because, like, your hormone changes and there's this one hormone that decreases so much before, like, when you're PMSing,
Mhm.
that whatever you're eating, whatever you're doing, you're not gonna enjoy yourself. Like that's why we eat. Like I feel like food brings so much joy and
Mhm.
like it's an experience.
Right.
You know, it's like just as a human.
Right.
Like when you get good food, you just enjoy life a little bit more.
Right.
So and when that is, I mean, especially like we're foodies. We love to eat.
Mhm.
We love like we've had good food.
Yeah.
And we live in a country where like food is very accessible. Like
Yes.
very good food is very
Yes.
accessible. So when that is been like cut out from us once a month,
Mm-hmm.
it's like every single time it still hits me.
Uh-huh.
Where like it hits me like a ton of brick. It's kind of like, why am I feeling this way?
Right.
And like nothing would like that I eat, I don't
You feel
enjoy
good.
it.
Yeah.
So you know, some people would find food to just enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
But for me, I just lost my appetite.
I've heard
I'm
of
just
that. Some people
annoyed.
it's like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I'm that way.
Mm.
Yeah. But you still gotta eat, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
You.
So
Yeah.
annoying.
So yeah, I think so. What are maybe now kind of switch to what are we looking forward to in the next
Yeah.
quarter?
Yeah.
I kind of like that it's like quarter, so that it's not a lot of pressure
It's true. It's
to
just
like
the next 3 months.
this year.
Exactly.
You know, like
It's till what? July? Wait, March, April, May, June. June. Until the end of our trip.
yes.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no. That's right.
Is it?
Yeah. So it's January, February, March, right? And then April, May, June.
Yep.
Love that. That seems so achievable. Like
Right.
it's doable, right?
When you think of it, like, what is the goal for the year? It's a little intimidating because, like, that's 12 months. That's a long time
Right.
to set.
Right.
But, like, quarter, like, what do we have to look forward to just in this next 3 months? It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Like, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, well,
Yeah.
next quarter, I guess.
In the next 3 months, I'm traveling like 3 times already.
Ooh, I'm
Yeah,
excited for
so-
you.
I'm going on a family trip.
Mhm.
There's 9 of us. And this is not even I'm not even married yet. Like my fiance is not even coming.
It's not going.
No, yeah, there's already 9 of us.
That would be fun though, like
Us-
a family trip.
I love
Pass
big
around.
family trips, yeah.
Mm.
And so that is coming up next month
Mhm.
during like Songkran.
Uh-huh.
It's
Okay.
like we're going down south because we have a cousin down south that
Okay.
owns like a resort.
Oh.
So we're just gonna stay there.
Yeah.
The last time I went was like 2012, something like that.
Wow.
It was a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
So that's usually like the time that we as a family take off
Mhm.
because like nobody's here during Songkran.
Right.
Yeah, and everything's closed.
Yeah.
So we're like, might as well just leave. I have a mission trip coming up after our trip, like our family trip. Like 2 weeks later, I'm flying again, and then
To a different country or
no,
different city?
or we're going to Bangkok.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I take like the whole month of May.
Mm.
Not gonna go anywhere because my ballet students are taking exams.
Okay.
So
yeah.
we're preparing for
Like
that.
intense-
Yeah, it's gonna
intensive.
be intense. And then after that, we have our trip.
Yes, in June.
Yep.
We have a girls' trip plus
I
some
think-
our friends' family members.
So how this trip came to be, I was so confused because one of my friends invited me, and she mentioned, "Oh, this other person is also coming." Like another
Another friend of ours.
the other friend of
Yeah.
our in our group. And I was like, for some reason, I didn't think about it. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm free during that time. My kids just finished an exam. It's
Yeah.
perfect timing that I should go. So I was like, I booked my tickets, and then I texted Butter. I'm like, hey, do you want to go?
Yeah. It was
And
so
then-
random. I was like, what?
Yeah.
trip is-
And then I like at that point when I was trying to explain things to you, I think it hit me
Uh-huh.
how this trip came to be. We're just crashing on another person's family vacation.
Right. We are.
And
And I was
think-
like, who invited who and how is this working? Like, we're just all, because how Amy was like, we're just all going. Like, this friend and like friend A and friend B are going to go. So I'm going to go because it's also, like, you should come along. I'm like, is this a friend? Is her family going? And they're like, yeah, her family's going. Is her husband going? Yeah. What trip is this?
So I think that's what I realized. Like,
Uh.
oh, we're crashing somebody else's trip.
And then we talked to, because we're so close, we talked to that friend we're crashing, and she was like, I did not, let me just explain to you my side of the story. You are all not invited. I don't know how this happened, but this was my family trip, and you were not invited.
Right. Because like somebody invited themselves
Yeah.
and their husband.
That other friend invited themselves, their
Right.
husband, and decided to invite
You'll
another
meet them
friend.
soon. Yeah.
who invited another friend, and now we're all going.
And the thing is, at first, Butter was like, "Yeah, I'm not
I'm not
going."
going. Yeah, I'm not going.
Butter was like, "No way, I'm going."
Yeah.
But once the incentive was we're crashing somebody else's
Yeah.
family vacation, she booked that ticket at the hotel, and we're like, "We're going."
And I told our friend, because I met her yesterday, I said, do you know what? Like, honestly, I don't think this is gonna be a relaxing trip for me, but I'm totally fine because I feel like it's gonna be so funny. Like, it's gonna be so entertaining.
It's going to be so funny.
That it's just like, I don't care if it's not relaxing like how I would imagine like a
Right.
vacation would be, but I'm just looking forward to like messing with her. Like, kind of like because she already did not invite us, and then I'm going.
And the thing is, she has so much reactions.
Right,
That's the
why.
best part, you know?
She reacts when you say something like, we're going to, and she's like, I'm not going to that island, and we're like, well, I'm not going either. And so it's like, there's no way she can win because we're just like attached to her. And so even like we went to Uniqlo and one time, and she was like, oh my gosh, this t-shirt is so nice. It's like a Jaws t-shirt, and you'll see this later, but like it's a Jaws shirt, and it was like, she's like, I should wear this when we go to the beach. And I'm like, that's great, I'll get one too. And she's like, no, go get something else. And I was like, oh my gosh, would it be so cool if we all get it? Like a family, like a team shirt, like
Oh
a
my
team
God.
shirt.
dying.
And she was like, oh hell no. Like,
Wait,
don't
did
do
her
that.
husband get it?
No, they were thinking.
Dang
she
it.
was like, is it supposed to be like my family? Like, it's up to you. Like, if your family gets it, well, we need to tell our other friend to get it for her
Her husband as well.
Yeah, and she was like, oh man, but she has a lot of family members in her family because then it was her two kids too. And so I was like, well, it's up to you. You can, if you do it, then you need to tell our other friend that her husband needs to get one. And so she's like, oh, this is such like a big deal now. And she's like, why don't you go get the other design? I'm like, no, I want this one too. And so we're gonna have a
I'm
team
crying.
Jaws shirt because we're going to the beach. And she felt it was so fitting that I felt it was fitting.
That's so funny.
And so I got mine yesterday. She got hers. And so
I need to go get mine.
yeah, you need to get, and our other friend needs to go get hers too. But it's just,
Yeah.
to me, it's just a different kind of vacation.
It's so obnoxious. I love it. You know, if honestly, I feel like if this happened to other friends group,
Mhm.
I would be so annoyed.
I would
I'd be like,
too.
heck no.
I would be too.
No way.
But our friend who were crashing, she was like, I made my peace with it. Come if you want to, whatever. Do your thing.
Right.
And yesterday she was telling me, she said, I didn't realize that this island we're going to doesn't have a 7-Eleven. And I said, yeah. Like,
It's a low carbon emission like island. It's
I was like, did you see how big the island is? It's so small that like there's not much on there. Like, it's just like nature. And I was like, maybe they'll have like a mart of the hotel that you can get stuff.
Definitely.
You know, like those.
It's
kind
gonna
of
be
things.
more expensive though.
But our friend who were crashing was like, oh, so I said, but I told her that it's okay. Our other friends, like you and like our other friends, said they would bring some snacks for you.
Yeah, I'll bring some.
And she was like, really? I didn't hear that part. I was like, you blacked out after you heard there's no 7-Eleven. And she's like, I don't remember this conversation. I know, because you blacked out because you're like, what? There's no 7-Eleven? And they couldn't hear anything else, but they said it. She's like, I don't remember having this conversation. And I just
That's
feel like
so funny.
it's just gonna be fun. Like,
Yeah.
I think it like a different type of fun that wouldn't call it vacation fun.
It's gonna be chaotic.
It'd be
It's
chaotic.
definitely gonna be chaotic. But I mean,
it's
at least
fun.
like we have our own rooms.
Yes,
That like we could like.
our own space.
I don't have to talk to anybody in the morning. Like I love that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, okay, here's the thing. I don't eat breakfast.
Oh, the breakfast
just-
is included.
I know.
And
So
our friend we're crashing specifically researched for best breakfast hotel.
exactly. So that's why I have to wake up and go eat.
Yeah, you have to wake up. But I already told my friend, I was like, I asked her, I was trying to annoy her a little bit. I was like, well, what time are you gonna go eat? No, I don't have to answer. I'll be there. She was like, shh.
Might as well just move into a room.
I was like, oh, no problem. I'll be there.
So
So we're
funny.
looking forward to that in this
Oh,
quarter.
definitely. That's all we've been thinking about.
Yeah, it was worth it, honestly. Like, for the plane ticket, I mean, to get to this island, we're taking 2 planes, a bus to the ferry station, take a ferry to the island. And I'm like a motion sickness type of person. So
The thing is, I don't get plane sick. I don't get car sick. I get seasick.
oh no, I
It's
get
the
all sick.
worst.
I get the all sick. So I'm like gonna be popping pills.
Oh,
Like
You're gonna
the
be
ones
like
like
pass out by the time
they
you get.
have some that's not like
Oh, really? Not non-drowsy?
yeah, where
Nice.
I'm gonna have to.
Oof.
But I
Yeah,
think I'm
I'm
looking forward to
seasick.
it.
Like but if it's a big boat and a bigger, I feel like it's gonna be fine. We'll see.
We'll
We'll see.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think and plus I think it was a trip worth think I like going to because it's like we're in our 30s and like friends this many friends to gather in our 30s from like it's hard.
Honestly, and with families and stuff.
Yeah.
And like honestly, like we could take this trip again next year,
Hmm.
but like at that point, I'll be having a husband
Right.
and he's gonna be added to our group too.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun. Oh
Which
my
is
gosh.
fine. Yeah,
That'd be
I'd be
wait,
so fun.
because at first, like my friend that invited me,
Yeah.
she was like, she asked if my fiance could come, but
Mhm.
then like during that time he can't go because I think his company got like an audit or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
It would have been fun anyway.
yeah, she feels so bad because like he couldn't go. I'm like, I don't feel bad. I'm fine. I'm going. So
Oh, like she felt bad that he couldn't go?
yeah, because at first she was like, this could be kind of like your getaway, like right before you get married, and I'm like,
Mm.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
He's gonna be fine. You know, like he loves staying in his room and playing his game. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah. I think that would be something good we're looking forward to.
What else? What are you looking
I'm
forward
also
to?
looking forward to like I have I'm in a course for life coaching right now, and in April during Songkran, before a week before Songkran, we were doing an intensive week.
Isn't
where
that like 2 weeks?
yes, in
Oh,
2 weeks
Lord.
I'm doing an intensive week, so the whole week it's like training.
Mm-hmm.
And though I wouldn't say I looked forward to it in the beginning, but now that I got to meet my cohort and some of the people, and just realizing that like I'm not the only one who sucks at this, and we're all in it together, and we're all learning it together. And
Yeah.
the people in my cohort are really like sweet people, like
Oh, that's
so
good.
far that I've
Right.
met them, and I feel like I think it could be really fun for all of us. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to that being together and just like learning
Right.
from each other and messing up together. That
Yeah.
camaraderie, I think, feel.
That's fun. It's kind of like failing together. It's like I think that's the best part of school, just in general.
Right. Had it been like I was the only one who like sucks at this and everybody was so good, then I'd be like, then I'm not. Like, I don't think I would enjoy it as much. But from our last session, we meet on Zoom. They're like, people are just like, these are hard concepts to get. And I'm like, thank you, Lord. Like, I thought, like,
You thought you
I
were
was
the only one. Yeah.
yeah, who thought it was hard, but they're like,
Yeah.
all like, oh, I have a hard time with this too. And I'm like,
Yeah.
praise. Thank
I think we talked about that in the past. I think that's one thing that I realized, like the last quarters, that you're like the things that you're going through, you're never by yourself.
like
I'll-
somebody else is going through
Yeah,
similar
like with
things.
mental health. And I was talking to one of my coworkers where I'm like, I feel like I should become a better teacher. Like I feel like my teaching is not good enough. She was like, "Oh my gosh, you felt that way too?" Because I'm the same way. I'm like, yeah, like teaching can be a very lonely like journey because
Mhm.
you teach sometimes too,
Mhm.
right? It's kind of like you know that you need to improve, but you're like you don't have that community. How to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, but to have that cohort, like,
Yeah.
I love that you're struggling
You-
together.
and the thing is, it takes like vulnerability from your part to open up first and say like,
Right,
this is I wish I could do better.
right.
And
Yeah.
like but once you open that, the good thing about it, if it's not always, but usually the other person will feel like good enough to open up about like me too, like I've been feeling this way. And honestly, we don't have those kind of conversations enough of like, man, I'm struggling.
Right.
And I think like somebody else is also struggling too,
Mm-hmm.
and we're just pretending that we're all okay
Right.
because we don't usually say it out loud.
Right.
We're just saying like, oh, this is my problem. I'll just deal
Yeah.
with it myself.
Yeah. I feel like at a certain point, like we're just trying to fake it until we make it.
Right.
But then during that time, I'm like, hey, other people are trying to fake it and to make it too. Like if
Exactly.
you talk, it's gonna be great.
Right. And the thing is, I would fake it till I make it with people I don't trust.
Mm-hmm.
But with the people you feel comfortable enough to let them in a little bit on some parts,
Right.
I would feel like I would share.
Right.
Like I would share to you or to my
Right.
friends, but like maybe not to some other people.
I think that's just boundaries.
Right.
Yeah,
And
you
we
just
need that.
know. Yeah.
Mhm. How
I
about
love
you?
that.
Is there anything else that you look forward to?
I think honestly, that's like the plan for the next 3 months.
Well, that's a lot
me?
though. That's 3 big trips.
Honestly, I don't like traveling. After this,
It is tiring.
this past quarter, there have been so many plane crashes that
Oh, I know,
I'm scared.
I know.
Also, I would never take a cruise. I'm so scared. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
It just creeps me out a little bit.
Mm.
So
I mean, that makes sense.
yeah.
With plane crashes, yeah, I see that often. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm scared. Like, it's kind of like I'm scared, but at the same time, like, I feel like I'm gonna be okay.
Hmm.
Because I'm like, if it's not time for me to go, the Lord's not gonna take me. I'll
Right.
be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy that episode of like us kind of reflecting the past quarter and looking forward to the next quarter.
Yeah.
Very low stress, very like it's not gonna be overwhelming.
Chill.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like the whole quarter thing really helps us
Yeah. If you guys,
navigate.
I mean, I'd encourage you to look back to like reflect back on the last couple months, the good
Yeah.
and the bad, I think.
Yeah.
And like the things that maybe you want to work on or do better in this next quarter.
Yeah.
And to also look at over fun things
It's true.
that
And just
to have to look forward to.
yeah, definitely. I think that's I don't know, kind of like something that would bring you joy in the next quarter.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like it's not gonna be as hard as you think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
All right.
we try to upload podcasts every Tuesday, but as you can hear, our schedule is a little bit chaotic and crazy and a little busy. So we try to do the best we can to post on Tuesday. So until then,
Yep.
bye.
Bye.